Hello everyone, welcome to our session on closing. This is more or less how to keep your head on straight if you don't close a sale. How to take emotion out of the sale in a negative way. We face our sales day and we hear it all day long from business owners, from our sales managers. Did you get it? Did you close the sale? How close are you? What's your closing rate? I understand. I mean, I've asked my own salespeople these questions over the years, and as a business owner, you need to know this because your business lives and dies by sales, especially if you're selling home improvements, larger ticket items. You know, this drives sales, which helps the business go. There's an element to this for a salesperson that we need to understand, though. A sales day can be very emotional. When you close a sale, the adrenaline boost is tremendous. Now, that's one of the reasons why they say that if you close a sale, you should immediately go and run another lead to close another sale, because the confidence you have, the excitement, you're pumped up. You want to take that natural boost of energy and adrenaline and use it to go ahead and discuss, explain, convey things to a customer, because you'll do it at a higher level. Now, the flip side to that is if you don't close a sale, if you allow that to be emotional, it could beat you up. Now, there are two things that I learned years ago from Brian Tracy. That first, when a customer says no to me, they're not saying no to me as a person, they're simply saying no to my offering. And the other thing is, do the thing you fear, and the death of that fear is certain. Which means you have to learn to be able to ask for the sale constantly, over and over and over again, until it just becomes another part of your sales presentation, and you condition yourself that that's just a part of the process. It really has to become a numbers game for you. Because if you don't let it become a numbers game and you don't keep it logical and you take on that emotion of not closing a sale, you'll get exhausted. The ups and downs, and if you let it be a down during the course of your day, if you don't close a sale, that up and down, that roller coaster of emotion can put fatigue on you. It can stress you out. It can make it frustrating, and eventually, you'll just end up either stinking at sales and not doing very well, quitting, or getting fired from a sales position. So one of the things that I realized years ago was that I had to look at this from the numbers point of view. I know by having my own personal goals, my own mission in life, a purpose in life, and I know by setting my goals that every month I know how many leads I need to run, I know what my closing rate needs to be, I know what my average ticket needs to be. I could look at those things throughout the course of the month and keep a very logical grip on this. I'm not going to lose my head if I don't close a sale. I've created a habit for myself. From Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the things that Stephen talks about prior to the seminar is that if we create new habits. A habit is the overlapping of knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge being what to do, skill being how to do it, and attitude being why or want to do it. So if we go ahead and we decide that we're going to create new habits for ourselves around our sales day, then it'll allow us to get through the day without taking on this negative emotion. One of the things we do is, first, whether you close a sale or you don't close a sale that minute, when you walk out the door, you need to create a new process for yourself. Number one, ask yourself, is that the outcome that made sense at this moment for the customer and myself? Number two, is there anything I could have done differently that would have helped the customer? And the third item is, what did I do great? What did I do great, and what maybe could I have improved on? So for example, if we're looking at this from let's say we were running an estimate on someone that was this estimate getting researcher, and only one of the decision makers was involved in the process. Historically, an estimate getting researcher with not all decision makers present, is a very process-oriented person, it's going to be challenging to go in and close that sale on the first sitting. A lot of the stars would have to align. A lot of things would have to go in your favor to make that sale happen in the first sitting. So logically, if you walk out of there and you didn't close it right then, and you do your quick review and you say, is this the outcome that made sense at this point in time for helping this person? Well, the answer to that is yes. You know, it's either yes or no. Yes, it made sense. If it's not, then you need to also dismiss that. You know, maybe the person just was buying on shopping on cheapest price, or you didn't have an avenue to even, you know, run your presentation effectively. But in this case, if you're dealing with an estimate-getting researcher that only has one decision maker there, you know, the answer to this question is yes. And then you need to move on. Is there anything I could have done differently that would have helped this person better? Now, sit there and logically go through the process of what you did in the house. You know, are there any areas that maybe you could have covered more thoroughly? Could you have reached out to the other person involved in making the decision? Was there more information that you should have gave? These are all very logical questions that you can go through and say yes, yes, no, 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 whatever the case is. When you're done, move on. You know, don't obsess over these answers. You know, and the third thing is, what did I do great? You know, you have to go ahead and pat yourself on the back when you leave. There's going to be times where even in a situation like this, you'll close a sale that by no means you thought you should have. Pat yourself on the back, give yourself credit. At the same time, do a quick review to see if there's anything else that you could have done differently. If you walk out of that sale from the estimate-getting researcher and you won over a person that clearly had their guard up, was just going to go through the process of getting an estimate, and you walk out of there and then you feel like you've made a friend, you have someone that trusts you and you've given an education to and is going to use you as a consultant throughout the process. Well, now you've won that person over. Walk out of there even if you didn't close the sale in the first sitting, which you probably wouldn't have anyway. Pat yourself on the back, say good job, move on. Let the numbers work themselves out. By doing this, you are going to take the burden away, take the roller coaster of emotion up and down out of your sales day. You're also, have respect for your business owner and your sales manager. They have to run a business. I mean, I'm at a company right now where every day they have to report the sales numbers. So the constant question is, how'd you do? Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? I understand that. Business owners, sales managers, they need to report closed sales. That's a terrific thing. But we also know as salespeople that there's a lot of no's in there. And we have to be okay with the no's. And we have to be okay with the no's because we know that eventually if you get rid of so many no's, the numbers will logically work themselves out. We're going to get some yeses. And it goes back to the numbers will always work themselves out. If you have goals, if you have a mission, if you have a purpose, if you're looking at your numbers logically every day, you know how many leads I've run, you know how many leads you've closed, you know what your average ticket is, you know what your goal is, you know where you are in the course of the month, and you're saying, okay, I'm in day 10. You know, I haven't run enough leads yet. If you've run 10 leads in day 10 and you know that normally you run 15 leads, well then what are you going to do to run more leads? Are there avenues that you can do to self-generate leads? If your average ticket's too low, you know, you could look at that situation and say, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that I increase my average ticket? Is there something that I'm not offering that I should be offering to each person? And then you have the long course of the month. You know what your goal is for the end of the month. You certainly don't hang your head and don't get upset if you're not near your goal yet. Keep your head on straight. Let the numbers work themselves out. Be logical. Respect your sales manager and business owner. And in the end, you'll be fine. You're going to have a long history of terrific sales days and terrific sales months and terrific sales years. And the only way to do that is change some habits and keep your head on straight. Have a great day.